My dad stole from my inheritance to buy himself a 6-figure house, but I have a plan for revenge.
And it's to blow up the entire house.
For the past few months, I, 17 male, haven't had a good relationship with my mom or stepdad. I'm angry at them because 2 years ago, when my dad passed away, he left me inheritance that I'm supposed to get on my 18th birthday.
Okay.
Supposed to get.
Uh-oh, I can sense trouble brewing.
I'm also getting survivor's benefits that my mom uses for me when I need things, so it's not like she used my inheritance for me. So they ended up buying a house that we moved into. It was weird for me because we always lived in a 3-bedroom apartment. My stepdad is a substitute teacher and my mom's a part-time receptionist.
Where's the money? I wonder where it came from.
Reggie?
A mystery machine is coming at you.
Like, sorry, Scoob, you're totally gaslighting me. You need to go to therapy, Reggie.
Have you tried BetterHelp?
My mom and stepdad never even had enough to go on a vacation or something like that, but all of a sudden, they had enough for a large house just out of nowhere.
Suspicious.
Sussy baka.
My mom looked guilty about it until she finally admitted that she used some of what my dad left me to buy the house.
If it's his money that's being used, it's his house.
What would you do, though, if you just found out?
First, I would be pissed. Second, I would probably say, like, if you bought the entire house with my money,
The whole thing is mine.
then the whole thing is mine. You
me
pay rent. I don't want to work at McDonald's after I graduate.
You
I want to be
kidding
a
me?
fucking landlord.
Yeah. Well, guess what OP actually did, Sam?
What do you do?
He lost his shit.
I mean, that was the first thing I would do, too.
They tried to justify that it was for me too, and I asked them, does that mean they're moving out when I'm 18?
Yes.
And the house is going to be in my name?
We also used your money to buy some sex toys for your stepdad and I. But that's for you, too.
I was
you
like,
can use
what?
those anytime you want. We're not going to clean them. Exact same scenario.
Sam, you just read the story for me. You just predicted everything.
I predict that this is not going to end well. I am the Reddit psychic.
Guess what the response was if it was OP's or not?
That they're going to be completely unfair and not say anything that will give OP the house and will keep it all themselves.
The house isn't his.
I predicted correctly.
There you go.
My psychic abilities are in check.
Supposedly the house was for me, but the maximum time I would have lived there was literally a few months. There's still some money left that could be used if I went to a cheap college, but I still can't believe they used my money for something on themselves.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
That amount could have helped me get my own house. Also, it's funny because my stepdad didn't like my dad because since I was spending more time with him, that meant my mom had to pay very little child support. My God.
Dude, the stepdad and the mom sound like a piece of work.
But he doesn't care about using the money he left for me. Sorry if this is a bit of a rant asking if I'm the a-hole, but last Saturday, his family all came to stay at the house. They stayed Friday night, so it was the next morning when I was getting ready to go to work. Again, he's over here just like slinging hash browns at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he could be collecting checks and kicking his feet up.
Yeah, bro. I want this man to be a landlord. The only person who has made out good is like the dad for dying and leaving the shit situation behind.
Literally.
Like now,
and the mom and the stepdad, they get basically a free house.
I feel like the only way out is just OP jump into the grave with your dad.
Now, I made myself eggs and I was in a hurry because he's going to work. Before I left, though, my stepdad asked how come I didn't make some for him and his family. I told him it's because I was already leaving for work and there wasn't going to be enough time for me to make it for everyone. He acted like, oh, it's not a big deal if you're a little late to work since you're pretty much always on time and we have people over at the house.
I don't want to make eggs for you, bro.
Come on, I'm already making these McGriddles for these people at McDonald's, making minimum wage, living in the house you stole from me. God damn. Give me a fucking break. God
I
dang.
feel so bad for this dude.
Well, we get into this back and forth because I'm not going to stop to make breakfast when he can do it himself.
But why, make money or make breakfast yourself when you could just take
Siphon off of a
Oh,
child. Why not do that when you can suck the financial resources and life force of a minor?
Yes. Hey, they've been doing that since before time.
Then he pulled that "don't talk to me like that in my house" look.
Oh, whose house? Whose house?
Yeah, whose house, buddy?
is this?
By the way, there's no door in the kitchen, and that leads right into the living room, so everyone in his family could hear exactly what was going on. I said loudly, it's actually my house since you paid for it with my money, and don't forget, you stole that from me.
Damn straight.
Stepdaddy.
Stepdaddy, how about you step down, son?
My mom is expecting me to apologize for embarrassing him in front of his whole family because after I left, they all had crap to say about it. They already went home by the time I got home, but you could just feel the tension. He straight up ignored me. That's how bad it was. I don't feel like there's anything for me to apologize for, so that's what my mom thinks, that I'm not being a good son and kind of an a-hole. I want to know if others feel the same. I want to know if the OK gang, do you think OP is the a-hole? Do you think the stepdad and the mom are the a-hole? Please share your thoughts and stories in the comment if you've had something similar. Take us home, Samuel.
The kid has his money stolen, his life force stolen, not the a-hole
My
at
God.
all. Both the stepdad and stepmom, huge, massive, gaping,
Some of the biggest.
anally protruding.
Yup.
What's the thing where like the asshole falls out of the asshole? Prolapse. Giant prolapsed anus. If you don't know what that word means,
Google at your own risk.
Google at your own risk. But damn.
But could I hear another story at my own risk?
I got another story for you, Johnny boy.
Okay.
Mom invoices me for the cost of raising me as a child? Fine. I have a plan.
I mean, listen, we've heard some Karens and parents doing some crazy things. This one we haven't heard before.
And honestly, that
That's
bill
crazy.
is probably pretty expensive because like the average cost of raising a kid is like $500,000 over a lifetime. Or
Insane.
Like that.
And it's just
And
hilarious.
usually more.
I'm just imagining this mom opening up QuickBooks and be like, all right, invoice number 47.
Swimming lessons. Like,
$2 million for raising my child.
all right, well, let's see. Our household always revolved around money. Even though my mom made more than enough money and we were not struggling by any means, she complained about every single thing she had to buy for us. Everything. Food, clothes, medical expenses, toys, laptops and phones, school costs, everything. We always knew exactly how much we were costing her. We didn't dare ask for the unnecessary things like leisure activities or expensive toys or hobby supplies.
God.
We started working very young and she manipulated and guilted us into giving all of our money that we earned to pay off what we owed. Dude, what would you do if your mom did this to you?
Like maybe like food and like clothes, like basic, like basic food, basic clothes, basic shelter. It's like, I didn't choose to be born. I didn't do that. You did that.
Maybe you should have wrapped it if you didn't want all these
Come
expenses. Huh?
on, mama.
When I turned 18, she completely cut me off financially, but kindly offered to let me rent my bedroom out for her.
Wow.
And sent me an invoice of every cent I've ever cost her, totaling over $700,000. She billed me
Terrible.
for Christmas and birthday presents. She even billed me for her medical expenses for the pregnancy and delivery and wanted me to back pay rent to live in the house from birth. She did the same to my sister 2 years later when she turned 18. We were supposed to pay her back over time starting the day we each turned 18. This lady is crazy,
An
bro.
actual
That's
maniac.
nuts.
I mean, this concept already is just off the charts.
But the fact that she kept track is even crazier.
And she charged for the pregnancy and the backdated rent. It's
The
like,
birthday presents.
oh my God.
Mom doesn't know how to give birthday presents. Does she do that with all her friends too? She's like, hey, I gave you this birthday present. You can have it for 5 years, and then I expect
Yeah.
something of equal or more value.
Here's my invoice. What if she was sort of like, I hope you enjoy that playset, little kiddo, because it's going to cost you.
oh, yeah.
I hope
it
you like
is.
them Legos.
Both of us were still dealing with a lot of internalized guilt from her constant constant manipulation. So we actually did pay for a while.
No.
Aside from necessary expenses, our entire paychecks were going to her. We rented our bedrooms in her house, and she separated her food, cleaning supplies, cookware, and tableware, etc. from ours and charged us to use them. She generously included the use of the household appliances in our rent. And it wasn't until I was 21 and my sister was 19 that enough people told us that this whole arrangement was unhinged that we finally snapped out of it. We moved out together and have stopped paying our mom or even contacting her at all. Holy moly. Guys, I want to know from you, who's the a-hole? Who's the angel? I have never heard of this in my life. But John, what would you do in this situation?
Also, if anyone has been through an experience like that, I know there's some crazy moms out there. I mean, just where to begin? Your own mother invoicing you for your own birth. I mean, it's just
the birth is the craziest.
It's just beyond
insanity,
comprehension, and also the fact like OP was doing it for like 3 or 4 years, from like 18 to 21. I mean, that is like
it just shows like the level of manipulation that you can have from birth, and you don't even realize how fucked up your childhood is until like a bunch of people are like, dude, what the fuck?
It's scary. So in conclusion, mom is the a-hole.
For sure.
That is easy. Almost one of the easiest a-hole the verdicts ever. I accidentally invited my boss to our boys trip, and I never would have expected what he said to us. So I had been planning this weekend getaway with my buddies for months. We were going to a remote cabin in the woods to have some fun, drink some beers, and forget about work for a little while. Now, as the weekend approached, I was excited to finally take a break from my stressful job and just let loose. But that is where I messed up. No one can relax, Sam. That's not possible.
Work until you die.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Keep those capitalist wheels a turning.
Yeah. I accidentally included my boss in the group message about the weekend getaway.
Oh, dude.
Dang.
Boss is thrilled.
Oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, finally.
I feel like it's like a Michael Scott boss.
Oh,
where it's like,
yeah,
oh my God,
bro.
my employees like me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I just want to be friends with them.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do, guys? We're gonna go. I brought all of the crafts. You know, we can go canoeing. I've been working on my J-stroke.
And just remember, if there's something that I want to do that you don't want to do, you're fired.
Yeah. I didn't realize this until I saw his response in the chat saying he was excited to join.
Cringe.
Yikes.
Do they have that kind of relationship?
Based on the way OP is talking, I have to imagine no.
Yeah.
No.
Weird that he would say yes to
Yeah.
a random invite.
Maybe he's just lonely.
Maybe he's just trying to be a cool boss.
He just wants a trip with the boys. I immediately panicked because, let's be real, no one wants to spend a weekend away with their boss.
Yeah. All bosses are trash.
Yeah. You know, especially people who run podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they're the
podcast
worst.
Team.
Freaking garbage,
I would
bro.
never want to hang out with them.
Dude, never.
That's what I think of them. Old farts.
What would you do if you had a boss that you didn't like and you accidentally invited them to the...
Well, I'm trying to think about the one boss that I've had. I guess it would be weird if he came, but I probably would be like if he was like, oh, dude, I'm hype. I probably would just end up inviting him. Because I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
I wouldn't want to uninvite him.
Right. Oh, exactly. Like, oh,
sorry, I didn't mean to invite you.
Yeah, that's so hard to walk back from. I tried to backtrack and come up with some excuse, but it was too late. R.I.P. Just get your boss to butt chug and it'll be so intoxicated he won't even remember. Yeah. My boss had already made some plans to come with us, and there was no way out of it.
Oh, geez.
It was just as awkward as you can imagine.
Oh, no. The weekend happened.
I spent the entire weekend trying to have fun with my friends while also trying to impress my boss. That's so bad.
Like, it's like, yo, do you want to go fishing? I bet I can catch the biggest fish because I always bring what's best for the company back.
Yeah, I think we need to
I love team building and leading teams. And I really think like I could be in charge of a team and possibly be due for a new promotion.
Yeah. That's so funny. Like basically like LinkedIn speak,
but
it's a camp trip. Yeah. I felt like I was constantly walking on eggshells, trying not to say or do anything that would make me look bad in front of him. I get it. But despite the awkwardness, we did have some fun moments. We went fishing, we played board games, we even went on a hike in the woods. I tried my best to act normal around my boss, but I could tell that he was a bit uncomfortable too. At one point, my buddy brought out a case of beer and we all started drinking.
Oh, things are going to get frisky.
Uh-oh. My boss joined in too, and before I knew it, we were all pretty freaking sloppy wasted.
Dude, I feel like either it's going to go really, really well right now and they're all going to bond, or OP is going to say some whack shit, or the boss is going to say some whack shit.
Yeah, like, Obi, you've always been my favorite. You should have a promotion.
Yeah. I'll do whatever it takes.
Oh, my God. Now that's when things started to get really awkward. One of my friends, let's call him Dave, started telling some inappropriate jokes. I knew I should have told him to stop, but I was too afraid of offending my boss. Wouldn't you do the opposite if you were afraid of offending the boss? Like you're tell him to stop so he doesn't get offended.
Tell who to stop?
His friend.
Dave.
Oh,
but like I guess he's like, he's like, the boss just wants to be one of the boys, you know?
Okay,
Yeah,
I see what
he's
you're
like, he
saying.
doesn't want to make
You don't
it
want to stop the
awkward.
fun because
Yeah.
okay. So I just sat there and tried to laugh politely while Dave told joke after joke. Then things got even worse.
Oh God.
As they do. My boss started telling his own inappropriate jokes.
Oh God.
I couldn't.
HR. They come out of the bushes.
Yeah. Freeze.
Violation. Freeze.
Sign this now. You're fired. I couldn't believe it. This was my boss, the guy who signs my paychecks, telling dirty jokes in the middle of the woods. Overall, it was a pretty successful and awkward weekend, but at least I learned a valuable lesson.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was satisfied by that. Always double check who you're inviting before you hit send, and maybe, just maybe, don't invite your boss to your weekend getaway in the first place.
Yo, I feel like the update is gonna be good news. I got a promotion because my boss ended up
Right?
having such a good time.
Honestly, yeah, I'm curious what you guys thought in the comments below. If anyone's the a-hole in this scenario, potentially.
I don't think anyone's the a-hole. I mean, I think it is
Yeah?
a little weird, bit the boss, a little weird for the boss to say yes.
Slightly, it totally depends on the relationship between him. It sounded like it wasn't that, but
It sounded, honestly, it sounds like it all went pretty well.
OP, I think, needed to just open
Yeah.
their mind a little bit.
Open his mind and his ass cheek.
Idiot coworker wants me to get the manager to punish me? Okay, sure, but you're not gonna like what happens next.
I mean, this is like, why would OP want to be punished? Why would they ask for the punishment unless they're into like BDSM or something? Punish me, please, daddy.
But it's work related. So it's like,
Yeah, it's
you
like-
didn't meet your Q4 quotas. Oh, God. Your retention is down 4% month over month.
Oh.
My company takes safety very seriously, to the point where we have safety briefings on the regular to keep us updated. Yesterday, we had a talk on compactor safety, which is like giant machine to just like
Compact
eat
stuff.
Yeah. One of our big rules is to never, ever, under any circumstances, climb into the compactor unless it's unhooked from power sources.
Oh, dude, why would you ever climb into
Why
that
would you
shit?
ever? I feel like that's just a recipe for disaster.
That's like a Final Destination kind of thing where like
Yeah.
getting crushed by a compactor sounds like it got to be one of the worst ways to go.
Because also you have like few seconds where you know what's happening. You don't
Oh,
just like
yeah.
instantly die. Sounds like common sense, right?
Yes.
Well, dear reader, as you're about to learn, apparently common sense ain't that common.
It ain't that common anymore, at least in the US. Everyone out here being crazy.
After getting our briefing, we get our assignments and are sent on our merry way. I go to my area, clean it, and pull the trash. As I'm walking to the compactor, what I see sticking out of it is two trousered legs.
That must be a human?
Hopefully living
Oh, yeah,
one.
hopefully living and
My
not
goodness.
compacted.
After the shock lasting a nanosecond wore off, I started yelling, "What are you doing, you idiot? Don't go crawling around in there." I know I shouldn't have yelled, but I was so mad.
Dude, well, I mean, definitely yell. Get the fuck out of there, man.
Quickly, how do you stop someone from like doing something so dangerous like that? Like, what else do you do? Maybe don't
30
say you idiot.
lashings.
Like, I don't know what else. Like, you have to yell at them. Like,
Spanking.
get out. I'm about to
You've been a
compact that
bad-
booty. Well, Mr. Idiot fell out of it and then starts yelling at me, "Don't you go yelling at me. Where's your manager? Get him here right now." I'm really destroying my voice for you guys.
being an idiot? Goddamn.
Oh, man. Also, I don't know why we always go to the Southern accent, but it's just
it's
so
fun.
funny.
It's fun.
At this point, the malicious compliance mode has been activated. I put on my sweetest smile and say, "Of course, I'm so sorry. Let me get my manager here." Mr. Idiot smirks and is like, "Good girl." So I call my manager over and I ask her, check it out. Meanwhile, Mr. Idiot is smiling like the cat who got the cream. Maybe they are Southern.
Never heard that that phrase.
Yeah.
It sounds like a Southern phrase.
Neither have I. I'm fighting to keep from smiling because my manager, Miss Heroin, as in the hero, takes safety as seriously as I do. I've seen her reduce full men to tears over safety issues. Miss Heroin shows up and Mr. Idiot says, "You should train your workers not to yell."
Yay-ha!
Miss Heroin turns to me and says, "And why were you yelling at him?" "Because I caught him climbing into the compactor and I was scared he'd be done crushed up." Mr. Idiot goes from looking like a contented cat to looking like a scolded, putrid dog.
Ew, smelly.
After a sweet verbal thrashing, Miss Heroin calls Mr. Idiot's manager. Within 30 minutes, Mr. Idiot was clearing out his desk, still smelling of garbage.
Oh shit! So he got fired?
Got fired.
Dang.
You
Don't
get what you
cross
ask
OP.
for sometimes.
Yeah, don't
For real,
get
for
crushed
real.
in a compactor. That's what I've learned.
Has anyone? There's got to be someone that watches that's worked on a compactor. Somebody.
Yeah,
Right?
There's gotta be.
Tell us your crazy compactor stories.
Yeah. And please, hopefully, you haven't lost any like limbs in there.
Please. No trousered legs hanging out at the bottom
God.
or something.
Jeez.
Real quick though, do you think Mr. Idiot was the a-hole?
I mean, Mr. Idiot for sure is the a-hole.
Yep.
What I would love for like everyone to answer is like, is OP? Well, actually, is Mr.
That
Idiot
is
the
actually-
a-hole? Because like, yes, that guy wasn't supposed to be in there, and
Yep.
he was, had that shit-eating grin, and was kind of like a dick. But OP basically took the actions that got him fired. So does
Yeah.
he deserve that? Maybe he does for
That's a
violating
pretty
safety stuff.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard hammer to drop. So
Yeah.